and I created this book, Princess Monsters from A to Z. Or Z if you're being really Canadian. And people started to ask me, why princess monsters? So I'm going to answer that in two parts. Why princesses? Well, princesses because of my son, Gabe. See, his imagination has inspired me. I see how he can transform himself into any character from any story at any time of day. And what I saw was a difference in the stories that are marketed to my son, Gabe, and the stories that were marketed to my friends' girls. There's a story up here that's supposed to be for 3-year-olds. Party dresses, party hair, need new party shoes to wear. It's an entire story about finding the right pair of shoes for 3-year-olds. What I saw girls being marketed is princess culture. What princess culture tells little girls is that the most important thing they can do in the world is be pretty and nice, but mostly pretty. This culture tells girls that what they look like is more important than the content of their character. I like this one up here. Whatever after, bad hair day. Again, apparently, a bad hair day is worthy of an entire book. The stories that boys are told, they are encouraged to go out and be robots and ninjas and monsters and knights and superheroes. And girls get princess, occasionally fairy. So the message that the boys get from these stories is you go out into the world and do stuff. Be the hero in your own adventure. And the girls are told, just stand there and be pretty. That's what you're here for. And author Rebecca Hain wrote a book called The Princess Problem, and she collaborated with artist Trimble to create this image. And I think it's fantastic. It really sums it up. You've got this girl who is literally trapped inside a box that is princess culture. And she is told that her value lies in spending her life attempting to live up to what in the world of Photoshop is literally an unrealistic beauty ideal. And told that's what is important. That would give her value in the world. And I wasn't satisfied with that story for little girls. I think they deserve better. So I created the anti-princess, the princess monster. So why monsters specifically? Well, that's for me. That's me. And I look back at these pictures and I think, I look like some just normal, average kid. But my lived experience inside my body growing up was I did not feel normal. I did not feel average. I felt like a weirdo. I felt like an outsider. And I was pretty convinced that people could tell, just from looking at me, that I didn't belong. Now, I've since learned that this is actually an incredibly common human experience, and that most people at some point in their lives have had that feeling of being the other. So I very scientifically did a poll on Facebook with some of my friends, and I asked them to fill in this sentence. I was so many years old, and I thought I didn't belong because. The age range was age 6 to age 52 in people's answers. And they said it was because of their appearance, or their family, or the culture they came from. But the one answer that I got that I thought really summed them all up said, I thought I didn't belong because I was not good enough. And we live in this culture of not good enough. And we pretend to be something that we are not because we so desperately want to belong. Brene Brown calls it hustling for worthiness. I think that's a fantastic phrase. One of the most basic human desires after food and shelter is a sense of belonging. We need to know that we have a place where we are accepted. And belonging isn't fitting in. Belonging is that intersection between your individuality and your community, and knowing that you don't have to sacrifice one for the other, because you shouldn't have to. We should all be able to let our inner monsters out to play. When I see people pick up this book, you know my favorite moment is? They flip through. They look through all the different monsters until they find the one. And they say to me, "This one, that's my monster." There's a monster in me, and there's a monster in you. It might be purple or green, it might be yellow or blue, but whatever the color, there is one thing that's true. There's a monster in me, and there's a monster in you. So, I tell you, why princess monsters? Because we are all monsters on the inside, just trying to find a place where we belong.